the Unwanted Witness advocates for digital rights and internet freedoms in Uganda. But at the same time, the Unwanted Witness promotes use of modern media tools to amplify voices and change lives. The two programs that Unwanted Witness hosts, the digital rights and internet freedoms, we do research, and that research is undertaken on the enjoyment of digital rights in Uganda. So what happened is that this has been an issue when we go to the international scene or the international, we visit other countries. Internet has been really an issue, and digital rights have become really a hot topic for the last 1 or 2 years. When those of you who've been reading newspapers or watching all these things really on social platforms, the Snowden incident, which of course brought out really quite a number of reports about NSA surveillance, which of course in Uganda, it came at a time when Uganda had just introduced the registration of SIM cards. And registration of SIM cards, many people didn't know, even the government could not tell exactly Ugandans why SIM card registration was being undertaken. When you travel to other parts of the world, to acquire a SIM card, indeed you have to register. We also realized that registering a SIM card is one of the way to fight crimes, like the government was saying. Unfortunately, when we carried out research as an Unwanted Witness, we realized that Uganda was not ready for SIM card registration. One, when you carry out a comparative study in countries where SIM card registration has been undertaken, and in Uganda, we realized that our process was far different from the other countries. One, we realized that the process really was taking more than other countries are taking when they are registering people's SIM cards. So they would, those of you who registered, I don't know how many, but those of you who registered, they were asking for the passport photo, they were asking for your ID, they were taking your address at work, your residential address, your next of kin, and at the back of the form they were using to register your SIM cards, there were terms and conditions embedded at the back of the registration forms. Many Ugandans were not explained as to why this process was being undertaken. When I started it with my colleagues, I did that when I was actually still at Human Rights Institute for Journalists, because I hadn't really crossed over. We started that process trying to raise awareness about Ugandans on this SIM card registration. One, the failure for the government to take this as its responsibility was one of the threats Ugandans were now going to have, because to have a company that came to do business here to take your data and keep it in their storage, it was very dangerous. You have had stories where people have been spied on online, they have been using mobile phones, they have had printouts, even people who are in relationships, couples. One of them would go to either MTN or Airtel or whatever. I just want to know who my husband communicates with mostly. Okay? And that experience, we also realized that there were also information as far as the government was trying to spy on activists, HRDs, you know, political activists, human rights activists, you know. And they were like, I think it's not really now that we want